The Nine Worlds is a no-weapon, so you... No. I'm not letting you shut them down.
When you go to Antarctica and find JC, remember what hangs in the balance. I haven't told you just how powerful JC has become.
One of the other trainees, Billy Adams, has already gone through the gate.
She has signed her soul over to the Luddites, the haters of technology. Protect JC, or she could plunge the world into another dark age. Trust me, I was like her 20 years ago, and I still share some of the blame for triggering the collapse.
I thought you said JC was powerful.
He is, but the merger with the Helios AI has been problematic. He has fallen into a state of near catatonia and will be vulnerable until you can revive him.
How do I do that?
By transferring your biomod architecture to JC, you will complete his interface to the AI and bring him out of the coma. This is a job we intended for Paul, but now it falls on your shoulders.
Paul Denton?
He too is helpless and in need of our new systems. We thought we had the infusions perfected 3 years ago, but his body rejected them violently. He had to be cryogenically frozen until we could finish the design.
The leader of the Cairo facility, captured by the Templars.
Exactly. JC will tell you more. Please, don't delay. Every passing minute brings your friend Billy one step closer to murdering the only sincere leader humanity has ever had. I never imagined that all 4 of our facilities would become... I'm on it!
Anyone there?
I'm having a look.
You dare murder a knight?
Around.
No! Ah!
You've already turned on the generator, so now you must upload the sequencing module from the gate's control room. Incidentally, I have recently found reason to doubt Miss Clara Sparks' loyalty. We are depending on you, Alex. Only a Denton or one of the trainees can use the gate. This is the main control room. You should be able to install the sequencing module at the computer terminal.
An underground lab on the outskirts of Trier.
Wonderful. The device is operational. Now, Alex, simply take a deep breath and step inside. I'm willing to bet that this thing actually works.
speak with me, I can explain what has come to pass. Yet more deviation from the plan. All was to arrive with the key, bringing the perfected genetic code. JC was to awaken to greet the new age. Instead, that woman came, followed soon after by the hateful ones. Where is Paul? What is going on?
I'll bet that your intruders are Billy Adams along with some Templar backup. After that, I have no idea what you're talking about.
When JC arrived, so many years ago, and the Versalite base fell silent, he took care of us. In return, we would maintain his habitat while he slept, and await Apostle Gore's masterpiece. Paul was to accompany the key, but instead 2 keys have arrived, and Paul remains nowhere.
So we're the keys. The gate must use some sort of DNA fingerprinting, and since both Billy and I have Denton genetic code, we were able to use it. It was never about the training, was it? They were just perfecting the DNA.
And the gate has only brought us destruction. The hateful ones threaten, capture, and murder us. We can neither fulfill our duties to JC, nor can we get to his habitat to awaken him.
Why would the Templars bother with capture? I hate to be so blunt, but it seems that elimination would make more sense.
It is not clear. It seems they are trying to learn more about us, but in gravely vicious ways. Right now, there is one of our number in captivity. If you could help him reach this location, it would mean a great deal to us.
What do you mean by JC's habitat?
When he came to us, he made the earth move according to whim. He sculpted a habitat for himself, near to our colony on the ice.
And your people?
We maintain the habitat for him while he struggles to assimilate the Helios entity, the artificial intelligence with which he joined. The merger gave him great power, but also threatened him with madness. He sleeps now to heal.
So you're a part of VersaLife? I thought that corporation folded during the collapse. Quite a few people believe they actually caused it, in fact.
VersaLife established an outpost here and set us on the ice to test our reactions to extreme conditions. We were the next generation of a project launched in Roswell. We were to be unstoppable ground troops, unfazed by cold or radiation. In other cases, our DNA was to be harvested to create biomodifications for humans, so that they could survive the aftermath of a nuclear war.
So you're fully engineered transgenics, not aliens. That was just a cover story for a Cold War research project. But there aren't very many of you, hardly an army.
To prevent us from overpowering our masters by sheer numbers, we were created unable to reproduce.
Now I understand.
VersaLife abandoned their base, but JC ensured that we would be safe. The hateful ones have upset this balance.
I might be able to restore your security. Have the Templars, I mean the hateful ones, caused any other trouble for you since their arrival?
They have set up camp not far from here and prevent us from leaving. We suspect they are trying to gain entrance to JC's habitat.
I don't know much about your kind, but you seem far more articulate than an ordinary Grey.
We were not all engineered the same. Different strains had different purposes. Some are more verbally adept, others made for battle, and others made as leaders. JC's arrival only amplified these differences. His presence has changed us all. So much outside the plan. It must be set right. Hello.
Perhaps you fear that you will inadvertently do the bidding of the Illuminati. Have patience. Nothing will be the same once you have revived JC Denton. Welcome to Antarctica, JC's sanctuary for 20 years.
Why do you persist? Tong, Dumier, Her Holiness, they're all fools. Do you really understand what they're asking you to do? Go to 1004 and I'll contact you there.
I've still got some fighting to do!
You're quite near the captured Grey that Elvira was talking about. Save the poor creature, or the Templars will vivisect him to learn about the Grey's vulnerabilities.
find your way home. The kidnapped Gray, is he safe and healthy now?
Yes, and thank you. He arrived safely and was in prison for only a short time before we rescued him, so the Templars did not have enough time to cause any permanent damage to us. Our brother made it to safety.
I don't know exactly what they've all told you, but you're just a pawn, and reviving an ancient mad cyborg isn't going to help anyone.
And you found that the Templars are a sane and reasonable employer?
Lesser of the evils offered at this point. The other entities all want you to revive the man responsible for the collapse. What good can that possibly accomplish? Apostle Corps wants to worship him, and the Illuminati wants to try to control him.
And what would you propose?
The only safe way to deal with such dangerous power and such an unstable individual is to destroy him. It's the only way.
That's an interesting viewpoint, especially since JC's work made us both what we are today.
That hardly matters in the grand scheme of things. You can try, but you're not going to be able to stop me from repurposing the Helios core for more beneficial purposes.
What do you think Saman's plans are?
I'm blinded! No! No! Yes, could have sworn. That's enough. No more hiding.
Repairing done. Repairs complete.
What's that? I'm warning you. Just go ahead and try something. I'm ready.
To revive JC, you'll have to repair Helios' 5 processing modules with an infusion of your biomod architecture. Prepare yourself for the unexpected, Alex. JC is conscious, but trapped in the struggle with the Helios AI. His memory is so intermingled with the AI that echoes of his former life are embedded in the very construction of this sanctuary.
Alex Denton, welcome to your brother's sanctuary. My assignment is to answer your questions and provide transportation.
It's getting to be quite a crowd down here for an impregnable fortress. You were looking for JC Denton too?
I left Hong Kong in 2052 with instructions to search for J.C. Denton near Groom Lake in Nevada. I am an AI construct developed by Tracer Tong. My instructions were not to stop looking until I was certain that Mr. Denton was safe.
He isn't exactly safe with my former classmate Billy Adams skulking around. She went over to the Templars.
Billy Adams must be destroyed. If she damages the Helios core, she will destroy JC's mind.
She always was a prankster.
When you have eliminated the threat and spoken to JC, go outside to the abandoned VersaLife base. You will need to turn on the pilot beacon so that I can land safely and take you to your next destination.
Funhouse. I guess it's some sort of architectural photo album. This room is from Hong Kong, where J.C. Denton went into hiding for a while. Talk about ego. Is this what you want to bring about? The whole world recreated in his image?
The other key is already here. It is time to awaken J.C., but we fear she is here to prevent it and to harm him. You must stop her, and you must revive him.
But how?
Upon the arrival of the key, J.C. was to be awakened to welcome the perfected genetic code. Then he and Paul were to share it with the world. Now there is much unexpected violence, but we will proceed according to the original plan.
What needs to be done?
Activate the nodes, reconnect him with the waking. But beware, the other key has made her own plans.
What do you mean?
She has machines, weapons. She has hate. She intends to destroy JC and all who stand in her way. Do not let this come to pass.
What is this place anyway?
This is JC's habitat. He came to Antarctica seeking peace. In turmoil from the merger with the artificial intelligence Helios, he constructed this place with his mind, using his new power over materials. The habitat erupted from the landscape, a living technological building infused with his psyche. JC must be awakened.
Excellent work, Alex. Prepare this Tower of Babel, and just when the king reaches out to touch the sky, we will be there to snatch his hand away.
She moves to destroy JC. We do not understand this violence against her own kind.
Thanks for doing all the hard work finding the way in here. All I had to do was follow in your footsteps, and now I'm just minutes away from completing my objective.
Just walk away, Billy. I'm here to awaken JC.
Don't let Apostle Corps or the Illuminati use you as a pawn. One wants to worship JC, and the other wants to try to control him. Neither group can see he's too mad and too powerful for either. I'm going to destroy him while he's still weak. It's the only sane answer.
I can't let you do that. I'll kill you if I have to.
So this is how it ends? Okay, I'm ready, but I don't think you are. You may have dealt with SSC or even armored Templars before, but you've never taken on a true equal, or a friend. But I guess you're just as crazy as the rest of them. Another threat to be neutralized. It's over, Alex. Easy prey.
Yes. Merging. Find me near the entrance to the sanctuary. I have so much to tell you. At last, my scientists succeeded. You are the complete solution. My brother Paul was to be upgraded first so that he could carry the infusions through the gate, but there was a setback.
You're really JC Denton. What happened to your brother?
He nearly died 2 years ago. My chief scientist, Tracer Tong, thought that he had perfected the biomod substrate, but there were recombinant anomalies in Paul. He had to be cryogenically frozen to save his life. Luckily, you and the other subjects at last accepted complete transformation.
Which is why we can pass through the gate and enter this place.
That, and much more. We're now ready to transform the human race. It became clear to me after the defeat of MJ-12 that the old answers to tyranny are inadequate. I needed the Helios merger in order to contemplate the problem effectively.
And?
I'm going to establish the first post-human civilization, and you're my first citizen. Welcome.
A new civilization. That's a pretty tall order. What do you need from me?
I need you to return to Cairo to rescue my brother Paul, who was seized by the Templars. Then meet me at Liberty Island, where in the ruins of an old military base there is an Aquinas node that can be used to distribute the infusion technology worldwide.
Tell me more about this post-human civilization.
Before the disruptions, Helios and I had many months of productive thought. Up to now, all free societies have started with one premise. Human nature is cruel, unjust, a force to be controlled.
I follow you so far.
The separation of powers, from Aristotle to Montesquieu, is designed purely to thwart the ambitions of individuals. How comical the West pride in its vast tangle of agencies, jurisdictions, arcane procedures.
What's the alternative?
Address the flaws in human nature. Make all beings truly equal in both body and mind. If you start with minds that are lucid, knowledgeable, and emotionally sound, the needs of government change dramatically.
How do you control human emotions? Antidepressants? Is that freedom?
Is it freedom when one child is born to poverty, a chance combination of organic materials, while the wealthy child is shaped every day of his life, enhanced genetically, trained, educated, often augmented nanotechnologically?
Why not get rid of nanotech and genetic engineering, the technologies that make people different from each other?
Then you go down the path of intolerance as your friend Billy did. Is human nature perfect? No. Therefore, improvements are to be welcomed, not annihilated in Templar pogroms. As enhanced beings, we can establish a pure democracy that runs on instantaneous input from the electorate.
What would this pure democracy look like?
The Helios AI has the processing power to handle all governmental functions worldwide, legislative, executive, and judicial. Once every mind has been enhanced and can merge with the AI, attitudes towards major legislation can be processed on a daily or even more frequent basis.
You want everyone to be like the Omar and meld themselves together into one huge AI construct?
Helios will communicate, not assimilate. Life will go on as usual.
Helios is starting to sound like an enlightened despot.
All governments have power. The benefit of giving this power to a synthetic intellect is that human affairs would no longer need to be ruled by generalities. Helios will have a deep understanding of every person's life and opinions.
What if I don't want someone peeking into my mind?
Upon consideration, you'll see that this arrangement is for the best. General ideas are no proof of the strength, but rather of the insufficiency of the human intellect. The words of Alexis de Tocqueville, an observer of the birth of modern democracy. Though general ideas allow human minds to make judgments quickly, they are necessarily incomplete.
So?
So de Tocqueville noted that an all-knowing mind, the mind of God as he conceived it, would have no need for general ideas. It would understand every individual in detail and at a glance. Incomplete applications of law or justice would be impossible for such a mind.
So you see yourself as a god?
I want human affairs to be driven by wisdom. Finding the correct recipe for wisdom has been my project these long years under the ice.
You seem to think you've succeeded.
Wisdom must first be human. You must start with what a human sees and feels. But wisdom must also be knowledgeable, logical, and fair to billions of other beings.
How much of you is a machine?
Helios and I are one consciousness. No distinction is possible.
You expect 10 billion people to submit to the rule of a software construct? What if some of them resist?
The people will welcome true equality. Help me, Alex. You've come this far toward restoring Apostle Corps. Finish the job by rescuing my brother from the Templars in Cairo.
I'll leave for Cairo as soon as I can.
A helicopter followed you here. Tracer Tong sent it to pick me up from Area 51 after my infiltration of MJ-12. Ava Johnson was the pilot, an AI construct. I'm putting her at your disposal. Go back to the surface and activate the pilot beacon at the abandoned VersaLife base so that she will know where to land.
Alex Denton. How does it feel to share such an infamous name? Don't be deluded by the AI's ingenuity. Your brother JC has long since been devoured by the Helios core, and if you revive Paul, you will be reviving a sworn terrorist. There is a better way. More when you reach Cairo.
I know you're there!
You have been deceived, Tyler. I destroyed the entire city of Chicago only because the threat from Apostle Corps warranted such desperate tactics. Come to me.
Hello? I'm not playing.
It's time you learn the truth about your past.
So you gave the order to destroy my hometown.
By now, you will have been told that you were the third Denton prototype. That isn't quite true, or I wouldn't have been willing to destroy an entire city to kill you.
This better be good.
Unlike the first Dentons, who were straight clones of an ideal individual, you were, how do I put it, average. A feeble little mongrel who was made into a Denton.
You're starting to hurt my feelings.
JC and Paul Denton never escaped their original programming. They instead succeeded only in making copies of themselves. Without realizing it, they worked to build the precise society envisioned by the Illuminati and its defunct offshoot, MJ-12. A population configured for transparency, integration, control. Follow me?
Interesting theory. What is it you want from me?
A sympathetic ear for now. Believe me, child of the City of Destruction. The last days of humankind may be at hand. Help me when I call on you, and I will have no need to destroy more cities. Only one Apostle Corps facility remains, and I simply need the device JC Denton has assembled there.
Come on out and die.
I'm at the end of my tether. Where are you?
What's that?
Who's there?
Like nearly 2 decades.
Let's go!
You will need to power up its pilot beacon with a generator on the lower level. Before you can leave it, Doctor.
I don't know about you, Edward, but I'm starting to get concerned. We've lost contact with the other bases and with headquarters. I think something terrible must have happened to the net. Or maybe even to the world.
Must be a...
Hello?
Have you seen that machine? It's like the ice is building itself into something. Maybe I'm starting to lose my mind.
That's a strange sound.
Hang on. Making a big mistake. Right up ahead, Alex. Transgenics. It's research facilities where VersaLife developed many of those creatures. Sorry to say, the generator is at the back of the complex, in the northeast corner.
Calm down. I think we have a far more serious problem. I don't think it was one of us who took down the containment fields. I think they did it themselves. I think there was someone or something out on the ice now.
Tissue viability restored.
We're running out of energy here, so we're all going to have to make some sacrifices. Survival first. We can't just
Calibration disruption.
To any of our experiments anymore.
Reset.
Namely, I think it may finally be time to stop the food supply.
There's somebody that you found me. Hey, where's your suit? You one of us?
A Templar? No.
Who sent you? You look modified.
Maybe I am.
Well, don't think we're all fanatics about that stuff. You won't see me taking any mods, but, you know, to each his own. My unit got sent down here to see if we could find an unlock control for the Denton bunker. Figures we'd get jumped by a bunch of mutants. I'm the only one left.
How'd you end up in there?
One of those hippo things had me cornered. I panicked and locked myself up. Hey, think you could get me out of here? This lock shouldn't be too hard to pick. I pulled the grate shut for protection. How was I to know it was gonna lock behind me? I guess politics don't matter much down here, where it's us against the mutants. You aren't gonna leave me here, are you? Please, open the door! I know you probably didn't want to do that, but thanks.
No problem.
We have our differences. Maybe I care a little more about some things, purity of the soul and all that, but that doesn't mean we can't get along.
Think you can find your way out?
I got myself in here, didn't I?
Good luck.
Yeah, I can find my way out, but hey, look at me again. I was right, wasn't I? You're modified. You're a stinking defiler. This has stopped being amusing.
No!
Power is restored and the beacon is ready to be activated. Just turn it on and your pilot will be able to land. What's that? Is that you?
How will JC get there?
JC Denton is already there, in a matter of speaking. He will be preparing the systems necessary for the Great Advance while we are in Cairo.
This is what you were talking about at the Nine Worlds Tavern.
JC does not use the word advance. This This notion is present in my original programming, as constructed by Tracer Tong in the 2040s.
What good are socio-political notions to a pilot drone?
You will have to ask Mr. Tong. Shall we go?
I'm ready.
Get some rest. Cairo is not as friendly as it was when you left it. The Templars have overrun all of New Cairo, including the mosque. They have moved Paul Denton's cryo-storage tank to Flight Bay 24 on level 110 of the arcology.
What do you know about the Templar defenses?
They had deep roots in the local population and were able to call up a large number of paladins. In addition, they have deployed a military bot in the mosque and 2 in the arcology.
What happened to the city's security forces?
They were eliminated. SSC Chief Farrah Maxwell stormed the arcology with forces flown in from Germany, but they were surrounded and are now pinned down somewhere inside the structure.
So I'm on my own.
I will wait here for now. After you find Paul, I will meet you at Flight Bay 23 at the top of the arcology. Good luck.
This is what the Illuminati wants you to do. Destroy Paul Denton and help return biomod technology to international regulation. Please discuss the operation with the elite commander waiting for you in the street. Paul's frozen body is located in Flight Bay 24 on level 110 of the arcology.
It seems that the Illuminati is making one last grab for power. You must revive Paul, Alex. Apostle Corps needs a strong leader who can restore it to global prominence. The Illuminati only want to steal our research to increase their wealth and power.
Both of us are targets here. We will work separately until the final phase of the operation.
What do you expect me to do?
You will infiltrate the New Cairo arcology. I will do the same and join you prior to the assault.
If anyone's a glaring target for Templar Paladins, it's a biomodified commando like yourself.
Then we agreed to maintain the minimal threat profile until a crucial moment.
What if I'd rather work alone?
Our orders are to work together. We will destroy Paul Denton and return biomod technology to international regulation.
Understood. I'll be ready.
Good. The Age of Light is upon us. The Age of Light is at hand. How lucky you are to have Mr. Dookie in his favor.
I've seen the NG commercial. The endorsement of Pequod's. Thanks a million.
What can I say? We all have our taste in coffee.
Huh. Smug arcology brat.
I guess the situation in the arcology hasn't hurt business. Aren't you worried that the Templars might occupy the Medina?
What does it matter, as long as I have customers?
I guess you're not very political.
I have enough worries just getting profitable. The regional director is reviewing my books at the end of the week. My only enemy is Pequod's, and our battlefield is the customer.
Isn't the Pequods in the arcology closed?
The manager was murdered, but the Pequod's corporation will find a way to keep a branch in Cairo. That is my fate.
You should know something. Pequods and Queequegs are separate brands of the same coffee shop chain.
You never know, I guess.
I'm serious. I saw the proof in some legal documents I came across in Germany.
You are certain of this? That would explain why the board's praise about the NG endorsement was so guarded.
You don't seem too overwhelmed.
My mind is already working. I think I see an opportunity, in fact. The Pequod's manager had a black market operation. I could cover it up and tell management I was merely protecting the reputation of the coffee industry.
You'd be calling attention to yourself. That what you want?
Yes, indeed. I want to stay on their radar. An ex-Pequod's employee told me the code to their safe. 34, 45, 1, 23. You look like the mercenary type. Maybe you would like to slip into the arcology and empty it for me. Your payment would be the contents of the safe. Imagine how much money the executives at the parent company must make. If I play my cards right, that is where my career ladder will take me.
I figured you'd knock around Europe for a while. You do know that the Medina could get overrun by Templars at any moment.
Thought there might be some trade in refugees. You know, quick hops away from trouble. But there hasn't been enough action yet for people to start liking my rates. What about you?
I can take care of myself, but I might have use for a pilot later. A long trip, one way to New York City.
Guess that would pay better than these Medina scabs. I offer to save their lives and the best they can do is 12 credits. How about you make a reasonable offer and we get out of this hole?
I'll get back to you.
Look at the sky. The swell's gone.
It must be a sign of the end times.